And another great trading week this past week. We got a few awesome trades on the Euro US dollar from the daily market breakdown videos. Let's get started with this week's Forex Forecast. Well, I hope you all had a fantastic trading week this past week, and let's get started with the COT report for the US dollar. The past week, the banks added 255 longs, and they also added 1,865 shorts. Now, this is a weekly chart of the US dollar, and in my opinion, this is definitely some downward momentum, and I think the downward momentum will most likely continue down to 101.118 at weekly demand. Now, we're going to go down to the daily chart and the 4-hour chart to really get in detail what's going on. And looking at the daily chart, I mean, there's really nothing else to report other than the momentum is certainly to the downside. Now, I do not call this a downtrend, but there's basically no denying that the momentum is down. I'm pretty sure nobody would say that the momentum is up here on the daily chart looking at the DXY. Now, something interesting has taken place on the 4-hour chart. We had this very clean and consistent looking 4-hour downtrend, and we were breaking demand zones. Supply was being respected up above, and then we recently broke this supply zone and this downward trend line. So that is definitely a clue to suggest, hey, maybe we are going up on the DXY. And where would we go up to potentially? Well, the nearest area I'm really seeing is like 105.465 as far as like a high quality zone goes. I think we will probably start to hesitate around 104.4, around supply there we could hesitate. But to really know if we're going to pull back up to, supply all the way back down to there, or if this was just a big fake out and we're going to continue to go down, we are going to have to monitor the 1-hour chart. So looking at the 1-hour chart of the DXY, it is really quite simple. There are a couple things I'm going to be looking out for. If we push up and break this high, obviously that's going to be bullish. I'm not going to sit here, oh, watch my forecast, guys. That's bullish. I'm a genius, right? But not only is it bullish, but it would actually create a good-looking uptrend, and that would be great evidence to suggest we are going to continue to go up. So either we wait for this to take place where we break the high and then we look for longs on the dollar, or if we pull back down to this 1-hour demand, we could see a move off this 1-hour demand zone like that. So if we are going to push up, obviously we're going to push up from here or push down and push up from this demand zone. So I think looking for longs, waiting for this demand to be hit, or waiting for this uptrend to begin are both equivalent in my opinion as far as things we would need to see for longs. Now, as far as shorts go on the dollar, it is quite tricky because, like I said, we are seeing some upper momentum, at least on the 1-hour chart, but we've seen a huge red candle here. So if we pull back down to this demand and we break this demand, to me, that would be all the evidence I would need to suggest, hey, we're probably going to continue to go down on the dollar and break this low. And any pullbacks to 1-hour supply, we could look for potential shorts here on the dollar. So hopefully this analysis makes sense. And as always, guys, if you guys are confused at anything I'm saying, I respond to every single comment on my videos. So I will respond and clarify if you are a little bit confused. All right, on to the forecast for the Euro US dollar. The past week, the banks added 2,359 longs and they got rid of 11,152 shorts. We absolutely killed it on the Euro the past couple weeks. I'll show you guys those trades in a couple minutes here. But looking at the daily chart first, there really is no high quality demand here. And even if there was, it's already been tested. So, if we continue to push down, I think the next profit target would be down to 1.07. Where then we could look for a potential long trade. So there is a lot of profit margin, to the downside on the euro. The tricky part is it's a lot of sideways price action. Now, we caught this 4-hour demand zone trade right here on the euro from last week's daily market breakdown video. I think it was from a couple weeks ago, but it finally played out. So beautiful trade off of that 4-hour demand zone. And now we are back into it for a second time. So what do we do now? Well, we push below this wick. So I think we could still look for longs on day trading timeframes to trade back up to 4-hour supply at 1.09. I think that that's fine. So if you want to look for day trading longs as this demand becomes in control, I think that's okay. And profit should be taken before this 4-hour supply zone gets hit. And if we push up down to here, this would be a counter trend trade like that, essentially. But we could see some sort of move off of that supply zone on the euro. So really that 4-hour demand is, the best situation. Now on this 1-hour chart, we got this beautiful 1-hour demand zone trade right there, over 5-to-1. Hit easily on the euro here. And if you guys want access to these trades from the daily market breakdown videos throughout the week that I post daily, check it out. Links in the description down below to the to the Diamond membership, we have lifetime access available as well, which will be going up in the new year. So if you want to join the membership and get access to, like I said, to those daily market breakdown videos, Sunday Zoom sessions, video lessons, and daily chart analysis, and much, much more, check it out. Links in the description down below to the Diamond membership. We'd be happy to see all serious traders join the team. And on the 1 hour chart, I don't like this 1 hour demand. It's tested from all the way back here. We actually got a trade off of that zone as well. But look how much this zone is tested. So we're really focusing, like I said, on that 4 hour demand zone. Yes, it is tested, but we could see the move from demand to supply. So we could be looking for, like I said, longs on day trading timeframes and potentially get a short like that up to there. But for now, with the demand and control, I think looking for longs here on the euro, in my opinion, is going to be probably the best decision. And look, if we break this 4 hour demand, then at that point, I think looking for shorts down to daily demand is going to be our next decision, down to 1.07. So just because I am bullish, it doesn't mean that, if we break this 4 hour demand, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be bearish. It means pretty much right away, if this demand gets broken, it's all signs are pointing to the downside. So really all going to be focused around this 4 hour demand zone here on the euro, to see if it's going to hold or not. All right, on to the forecast for gold. The past week, the banks added 20,144 longs, and they got rid of 8,235 short positions. Now, something extremely significant has just taken place here on gold. This just happened basically a couple minutes before recording this video. Now, I know that my chart's all over the map, but you can see this is the all-time high, at least on this broker, of gold, and we just broke that all-time high. As you can see, we are currently rejecting that all-time high. Not too surprised, but definitely a significant event in our lifetime, in my opinion. So I think this is absolutely insane to be witnessing this live. So we officially have that weekly uptrend on gold breaking through daily supply. In my opinion, all signs are pointing to the upside. But just like we've seen back to the weekly chart multiple times, when price comes up here, we just wick back down. So you could see that, something like that. But look, guys, I am very bullish on gold. I've been bullish on gold since 1870 down there. Those of you remember that trade down there that we caught. So as far as gold goes now, look, guys, we have a 4 hour uptrend, 1 hour uptrend. Day trading longs are 100% on the table right now, on any time frame, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute chart. In my opinion, it's longs all the way. And onto the 4 hour chart, the nearest 4 hour demand I see is at 2046. If we do pull back down to that 4 hour demand zone, we could see a move off of that zone, or there are some lower as well. I don't like how much trading has taken place in this area, so we could see some sort of fake out to the downside to the fresh demand at 2021 down there as well. We could see something like that take place, but any pullback down to 2046, down to like the 2000 area, in my opinion, is a buy on gold. So be careful though. Like I said, we are at the all-time highs, and when we get to all-time highs or just highs, we usually see a lot of manipulation. So be careful out there. But look, guys, it's a trend on all 4 time frames. Gold, why would you be shorting this right now? I don't know. Maybe you have a great counter trend trading strategy. I don't know. But at the end of the day, all trends and all signs are pointing to the upside. So like I said, it is pullbacks to longs all the way. Just like I was saying down here at this daily demand, hopefully you guys got in long at that sniper entry down at 1931. You guys can go back and watch the forecast from all the way back then as well. But look, guys, we've been absolutely killing it on gold. We pretty much called this entire move out. So now what do we expect from gold? Well, we're at the all-time high, so we are probably expecting another leg up to maybe 2200, and then maybe look for pullbacks along the way up, like I said. But like I said, longs all the way here on gold. On to the forecast for the USDJPY. The past week, the banks got rid of 4,992 longs, and they also got rid of 8,775 shorts. Now, onto the daily chart here. We do still have the overall daily uptrend. There's pretty much no denying that, but in my opinion, it is very clear here that the momentum is currently down. At least as far as this sequence of trading goes. We have demand zones being removed and supply zones being created. So if you want to trade counter trend, we pretty much, as far as swing trading goes, we'd have to wait for either one of these daily supply zones, to be contacted as far as high odds swing trading shorts go. As far as day trading goes, I've been telling members, we have a pretty clean 4 hour downtrend. I pointed out this 4 hour supply zone, said we could be looking for day trades, off of this supply zone right there. So as long as we have this 4-hour and 1 hour downtrend, I think looking for shorts is completely fine. At least as long as it's on day trading timeframes. Now, if we pull back all the way up to 148, we could see a move off that supply. Not a fan of how much trading is in that area though, so wouldn't really count on it. But look, guys, with the trends to the downside of the 4-hour and the 1 hour chart, in my opinion, it's shorts all the way. And when I say shorts on day trading timeframes, I'm talking about 15-minute charts, 5-minute charts, and sometimes the 1-minute chart, depending on the 15-minute trend. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. The 4-hour supply higher time frame trade has already taken place, so there's nothing for me to point out as far as that. That's why I do the daily market breakdowns throughout the week. So I only do these videos every Friday. That's why I do those daily market breakdowns throughout the week, like I said. With the 4-hour supply and control, remember, we are at the low here, so we could start to see things rally up. But, in my opinion, another leg down and a pull back to some sort of supply zone, just like we did here, would be also in the picture on the USDN. But remember, the daily trend essentially is still up. Where are we pulling back into? I don't know. That's why I think we could essentially go into free fall mode, potentially pull back all the way down to like the 144 area, long term on the USDN. So we definitely have to just monitor and make sure, look, I'll keep it as simple as I can. With the 4-hour and 1 hour downtrend, it's day trading shorts all the way. On to the forecast for the GBPUSD. The past week, the banks added almost 18,000 longs and they got rid of 207 shorts. Now, looking at the daily chart here, the question last week was, will we pull back down to daily demand and rally up, or are we going to just rally up from here? We have clear profit margin up to about 1.28. Any pullback down to 1.25 to this daily demand could be used for a pullback long entry on the pound. As far as the 4-hour chart goes, the overall trend is up. I definitely agree. But we recently spiked below the trend line, and it looks like we want to break the all-time, or not the all-time high, but it looks like we want to break that high again. So as far as a 4-hour chart, what I'd be looking for is the removal of these supply zones, and then a pullback to any demand zone that is here could be a great potential long setup. Now, if you want to go on the lower time frames, you can see in the 1-hour chart, the sideways price action is very much displayed here. And it's pretty obvious in my opinion. We had demand being respected, supply kind of being respected, but eventually we, pierced through. So, any pullbacks down to this demand zone, I really hate how much trading is in this area. I don't know. You could look for longs in there. I think that's okay. But for me personally, what I'm going to be looking for is the removal of this high, which would then create the 1-hour uptrend again and get rid of all this sideways price action, and then we could start to look for pullbacks to the long side here on the GBPUSD. So definitely not one that's on my watch list right now, but with clear profit margin on the daily chart and momentum being to the upside, I think we definitely want to favor longs, and we just need to be a little bit more patient, maybe trade some other pairs while we wait for the pound to kind of reset up and break that high again on the 4-hour chart, creating that 4-hour uptrend and giving us the confidence of trading with the trend. All right, on to the USDCAD. The past week, the banks got rid of 2,614 longs and they got rid of 416 shorts. So very interesting chart in my opinion. You guys know we had the supply zone hold from a couple weeks ago. That well hit over 3-to-1. But with this daily demand and control now, I'm not going to say this daily demand is amazing. I mean, it is good for what it accomplished. The move away was fantastic. But in my opinion, this demand zone, the question is, where is the location of this demand zone? And it's not in a good location as far as our higher time frames go. So in my opinion, there's almost no reason for this demand zone to hold, but we could be looking for longs in my opinion. Now, if we actually end up breaking this daily demand, in my opinion, there's nothing over here that's going to stop up price till at least this daily demand zone all the way down at 1.325. So I think we could see that move all the way back down to there, but we have to get through this daily demand first on the USDCAD. So let's go down to the lower time frames and take a look what's taking place. As far as the 1-hour chart goes, look, 1-hour downtrend, 4-hour downtrend, we could be looking for those day trading shorts 100%. Like I said, on day trading timeframes, 1-minute, 5-minute, 50-minute chart, that's definitely okay. If we pull back up to 1-hour supply at 1.355, that is a decent area to look for a 1-hour short, and even above at 1.36, those could be areas where we look for potential short trades here on the USDCAD. So pretty bearish the USDCAD as far as day trading timeframes go. I don't like the daily demand we are in. I don't think it's going to hold, especially since as far as the weekly chart goes, there's really nothing here. So I think we could see the deeper pullback on the USDCAD here, and as far as I'm concerned, it's shorts all the way, especially on those day trading timeframes. And like I said, pullbacks to the 1-hour supply zones above that I marked out could also be good. All right, looking at the Aussie US dollar, the past week the banks got rid of 362 longs, and they also got rid of 7,113 shorts. Now, on to the daily chart first here. We are kind of at a crossroads here where we are at this daily supply. I pointed out this supply all the way down here. I said we could trade all the way back up to that supply at 0.666. I don't know if anyone remembers me saying that. And the only reason I kind of do is because of the 666 price mark. But anyways, question for you guys. Do you think this supply zone and trend line will hold and we'll see the Aussie push down? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be interested to see what you guys think. I personally think we are going to break through. This is good supply. I'm not surprised. We already kind of seen a move down all the way down to 0.658 really. So in my opinion, the move's kind of already taken place. All signs are pointing to the upside and there's really no slowing down. Now, the trend is more evident here on the 4-hour chart. Unfortunately for me today, there's no quality 4-hour or 1-hour zone for me to point out and say, hey, that's a great pullback to the long side. There isn't that for me, but with the 4-hour and 1-hour upward trend, I think looking for longs on the day trading timeframes is definitely going to be okay. Now, looking at the 1-hour chart, we have a couple options here. A pullback down to 0.662 could be a decent entry for a long trade. Now, I know that's a big pullback, but it is definitely possible. Either that, or if we break this, supply zone at 0.6666. If we break that supply, leaving us with 1-hour demand, we could trade a pullback down to that demand zone. So either waiting for this to take place, another leg up and a pullback, or a pullback right now. So definitely bullish on the Aussie. In my opinion, there's really no reason to be shorting right now at all. We could have had a reason to short here at this supply because it was a confirmation. But as you can see, the confirmation has essentially failed and we broke that supply. So in my opinion, all signs are pointing to the upside here on the Aussie US dollar. So longs all the way, especially on those day trading timeframes. But we're going to be monitoring the 1-hour chart to see if there's any fresh 1-hour zones along the way as we hopefully push up and break this daily trend line and supply. Like I said, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think is going to happen here on the Aussie. Alrighty, on to the USDCHF. The past week, the banks added 868 longs. They got rid of 427 shorts. We pointed out this weekly demand last week, and we pretty much blew right through it. I mean, we did kind of hesitate. But in my opinion, we didn't break the low yet. We don't quite have, a quality weekly supply, downward trend here on the USD Swiss. But in my opinion, all signs are really pointing to the downside. We have a beautiful daily, 4-hour, and 1-hour downtrend. We have supply zones being respected on the way down. So, kind of the theme of this forecast is I don't have any, 1-hour or 4-hour supply zones to show you guys here on a lot of these pairs, but with the trends to the downside, it's day trading shorts or day trading on a lot of these pairs. So with this one, we have downtrends. So it's going to be day trading shorts for sure on the USD Swiss. And hopefully we can get the trade and, we can continue to push down. And this could be still somewhat of a sniper entry. But, as far as the USD Swiss goes, again, and if you look at the 4-hour chart, this is just horrible price action. There's absolutely nothing of quality in this area at all. That's why I don't have any zones that remove these zones. So unfortunately, there hasn't been a lot of trading setups, but as far as the 4-hour and the 1-hour chart goes, but it doesn't mean you cannot trade with those trends on the day trading timeframes like I've been saying this entire video. Last but not least, we are on to crude oil. The past week, the banks added 1,597 longs, and they also got added 25,750 shorts. So this daily supply zone, I wasn't expecting it to hold as much as it has. I'll be quite honest with you guys. We are currently just ping-ponging between supply and demand. It's actually more visible on the 4-hour chart. You can see here this demand zone has held once, twice, 3 times now. So what we are looking for shorts, since this demand zone is so significant, if we break that demand zone and hopefully this low as well, any 4-hour supply here could be our trading setup like that. So hopefully that is what takes place as far as crude oil goes. And as far as longs go, I don't like it until we can at least break that high. Once we break that high, we'll have a 4-hour uptrend and we'd be saying longs all the way. But in the meantime, look, if you want to look for day trading long coming out this demand, it's risky because, like I said, we've been here once, twice. This is now the 3rd time. So, but if we break a little bit lower, you could still look for confirmation longs on a 50-minute chart. I think that that's okay. But overall, I don't like the sideways price action at all. So as far as shorts go, like I said, we need to see evidence of that by removing this demand because you don't really want to just be shorting at a demand zone that's held once, twice, right? Okay, you could kind of jump the gun and short now, but why? We'd rather just wait for the break of it and then the leg back up for the pullback and then the short entry. We want to be patient here. One thing I preach in my private group is patience and just patience and just waiting on your toes for that perfect setup. So as far as oil goes now, we just need to wait for some significant zones to be removed or for the high to be removed. And as far as your long-term perspective here on oil, I am bullish long-term on oil, but I cannot deny this daily downward trend line here and the supply being respected. So until we get this move on the daily chart, I am going to be pretty bearish on oil, still bullish long-term, but as far as, the midterm to short-term, as long as we have this daily downward trend line, I am very bearish as far as midterm trading here goes on crude oil. And if you guys want to watch the full-length forecast with all the other markets, make sure to subscribe to the channel membership to get access.